Hello, everyone, and welcome to Week 9, Complementary and Alternative Medicine. So we're presenting Vinson and I, Francis. So let's jump into it. So our learning objectives for this week are to define complementary and alternative medicines, otherwise known as CAM for short, to describe a general overview of how research is done to determine effectiveness and safety, and to use the Natural Medicines database to look up evidence on effectiveness of CAM therapies. So first, let's define complementary and alternative medicines. So what is it? Complementary medicine is a practice, treatment, medicine that is used alongside standard forms of medical care and treatment. When we are referring to CAM, we are referring to this method of complementary medicine where other methods of care and treatment are used in conjunction with what a doctor has prescribed or recommended. So examples can include, as the pictures show, yoga, aromatherapy, but it can also be herbs, supplements, acupuncture, massage therapy, even Reiki, and meditation. All of these practices can be used to help treat symptoms for a variety of medical conditions, and the key word here is help. So we're using it alongside standard medical care. Based on the readings we have selected this week, you can see diabetes and cancer are popular conditions that benefit from complementary and alternative medicine. So the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, it's a US-based organization, has created this kind of model to understand how we can classify complementary medicine. So these are the kind of the primary therapeutic inputs. So first we have nutritional inputs, so special diets, dietary supplements, stuff like that. And then we have psychological, which is can be considered meditation, hypnosis, music therapies, relaxation therapies. And then we have physical, which can be considered under acupuncture, massage therapy, spinal manipulation. And then finally, we have a combination. So there can be combinations of the three main categories. An example could be a combination of psychological and physical. So this could be yoga, tai chi, dance therapies, and some forms of art therapy. Or another example could be psychological and nutritional. So mindful eating could be an example of this. So alternative medicine on its own, it's important to understand the key difference that sets this method apart from complementary and alternative medicine. This alternative medicine can be considered anything that's used instead of standard medical treatment. So it's not being used with, but it's being used to replace essentially standard medical care. This is uncommon when we are discussing CAM, but it's still important to consider as there are some people that have chosen to completely forego standard medical treatment. For example, some patients may choose to pursue specific diets, supplements, or other methods for cancer treatment instead of methods prescribed by a medical professional, such as an oncologist. So why do people choose complementary medicine? It's definitely becoming increasingly sought after, and patients, medical practitioners, and supporters are looking for reliable information to go to. So the BMJ article that was assigned this week discusses the reasons that patients support and report for being drawn to complementary and alternative medicine. So perceived effectiveness and safety, that's pretty self-explanatory. Some people believe that it is more effective or just as effective as standard medical treatment, and that it is safer potentially, or just as safe as standard medicine. Also personal philosophies. So this may be related to a person's spirituality or personal importance of nature and things that are considered natural. So they might go to this over or alongside of standard medical care for those reasons. Another reason is that it's non-invasive. So many of these treatments are not invasive in ways that standard medicine can be or can be perceived as. And alongside this, it can be considered more calming or pleasant in nature, especially taking supplements or yoga or meditations. Definitely more calming than some environments in hospitals or doctors' offices, for example. Also important to consider wealth. So buying supplements can be expensive, and many of these alternative treatments are not covered by insurance or healthcare. Therefore, it is dependent on an individual's access to wealth if they are going to pursue these methods. Other personal motivations to consider is accessibility, like things like yoga are more accessible than potentially going to hospital. Also, dissatisfaction with conventional healthcare. So some people might not feel that their needs are being met by medical professionals. And finally, not believing in science or technology. You can think of COVID. A lot of people don't believe in the vaccine, so this can be another personal motivation for turning to more alternative medicines. So some of the challenges around complementary and alternative medicines. So there's a lot of information about different diets or supplements suggesting they can cure a certain disease. This may be overwhelming to individuals and may present challenges for assessing accurate and reliable information. Also, less support from governments and just the general research community means less funding, which also ultimately means less concrete research and understanding of the benefits and risks of certain therapies or practices. And finally, conflict between complementary medicine and standard treatment. So sometimes certain supplements or certain foods may contradict or conflict with what a person is being prescribed by a doctor. So there are some important factors and research methods or strategies to consider when looking at complementary and alternative based medicine. So first, evidence-based practice. So it's important to look at the evidence related to specific remedies, practices, and therapies. With so many informal opinions, it is important for librarians to consider what the research indicates when they are performing research to pass on to clinicians and patients. Also journals, there are some journals that are specific to CAM, so the Journal of Integrative and Complementary Medicine, which again, specific to complementary medicines. Also databases. So there are a few databases specific to CAM, but not very many. Vinson will be going over the natural medicines database, which is actually available through Toole. So we'll kind of give you an overview of that and how to use it. Also, the databases we have been using during the class can be helpful for researching complementary and alternative medicine. So PubMed specifically allows you to filter your search for complementary medicine. You just have to go through the subject and refine it there. Other databases such as Cochrane and CINAHL will also be a helpful resource, but you'll have to use keyword search So using complementary medicine, which with whatever condition you're researching. So now Vincent will go over and do a quick tutorial of the Natural Medicines database.
Okay, so this is the main page of the Natural Medicines database. There are two main aspects of this database that are available to us through DAL. We can either use the database is here to look up different natural treatments or natural medications and supplements, or you can use this tool checker here to check for various things, but that's really meant more for clinicians. So we'll take a look at the databases first. You can click here. So this database is a compilation of a bunch of various databases. So the Food, Herbs, and Supplements database is to give monographs and information on various herbs, vitamins, minerals, and other non-herbal supplements. The Health and Wellness and Sports Medicine databases are meant to talk more about various natural treatments, such as acupuncture and its effectiveness and safety. And if you want to find out more information and details about these kind of databases, you can go to the About Us section and click Explore Features, and it will give you more information about the various databases and the tools as well. So let's take a look at the advanced search functions. So over here, it shows you can filter through which databases you want to look through, as well as anything specific about the compounds you're looking for. We're just going to do a very general search and take a look at what we can find. So let's look up something like ginger. So on the search results, you can see here that there is the professional monograph for ginger, and also various commercial product variants that have ginger as an ingredient. So let's take a look at the ginger professional monograph, and as you can see here, there are multilingual patient handouts and also links to various sections within the monograph. And a monograph basically compiles a bunch of different articles and evidences together and synthesizes it into a reference document that talks about the various uses, effectivenesses, and safety of various compounds. And in this case, we're doing ginger. So, for example, you can go to effectiveness to figure out what kind of diseases and conditions that ginger might be used in. And it's sorted by effectiveness based on evidence. So here's all the conditions that are possibly effective when treated with ginger. And you can look at dysmenorrhea, and you can see some dosing information over here. You can click on details, and it will provide the exact articles that have this evidence. And over here are links to the references. So you can click on any one of them, and it will take you to a page that has all the references for that particular monograph. And you can click View Abstract, and it will take you to the actual article itself. And you might also be wondering, what does possibly effective even mean? So if you click on that, it'll take you to a page on the database that defines what possibly effective and likely effective is. And it basically provides definitions for what they mean when they give a safety or effectiveness rating. You can also look at the various commercial products that are available that contains ginger. So we can look at the Canadian licensed products that contain ginger. And let's take ginger root 500 milligrams by Swiss Herbal Remedies. And this database also provides a natural medicines brand evidence-based rating, and you can click here to figure out what that rating entails. And yeah, it gives you information about this specific commercial product that contains ginger. And let's see. You can also browse using the index if you don't want to search up a specific compound. So that's about it for the databases. Let's quickly discuss tools. So this is more for the clinicians, but there's various tools here that you can use for specific needs that you would have that a clinician would need to use. So for example, the interaction checker allows you to see if a specific supplement interacts with prescription medication. So let's take a look at, similar to before, you can browse using the index or you can search. So let's try St. John's wort. And then down here, it shows you details about the interactions that can happen and with which specific prescription medication. So there's a lot to explore on this database, so I'll leave you to it.